Nolly is having what should be considered one of his best regionals of the Open era. Is it enough to get Gen.G past Complexity again? Jack's under the weather. Complexity is ready to go. Can they spring the upset over Gen.G? Game 1 is underway.
Complexity have also been having a little bit of struggles as well. You talked about it for Jack just being under the weather. CRR in terms of his performance, shooting 14% this event. Meanwhile, AJG has stepped up to have one of the better shooting of the season for him. Looking at this matchup, lots of players going to have to really push forward to see if they can take over this series and put themselves in the grand finals.
Two teams that have expected to be at both majors, only one has. So Complexity had a strong showing themselves at the winter major. Here goes apparently Jack with Nolly at midfield. Chronic is also starting to creep up. And he'll play this through the corner. Raise Bull there to drop it right down in front. Nobody diving in. Nolly will have it on the other side. Try to take this himself. CRR backing halfway into his goal. No problem. Got a demo downfield, and that's well blocked by Chronic in the corner.
AJG trying to leave that for CRR, and double commit there from Chronic and Jack to be able to make the save. Complexity pressure can sometimes be monumental. CRR shot's going to be denied again as they continue to try to make something work here offensively. Gen.G Mobile One Racing trying to get out of their own zone. It's been a bit of a back and forth struggle here at the start, with Complexity starting to lead the charge on offense. And you gotta wonder, once they start getting going, can Gen.G be able to hold things off defensively?
Popped out to the mid here as Nolly will play it across. He's got apparently Jack over there, but he also has Raise Bull. And now Chronic, second touch to try and get around CRR. Apparently Jack's still there in the corner. He stay with this play. It bounces off the corner from Raise Bull. Now Chronic, another touch needed. He's got it. Trying to center here, but again, nobody able to dive in. Chronic still there. Apparently Jack just not there in time. And Complexity, while they're under duress, have not yielded a goal just yet here in the first couple of minutes. Another opportunity, spoke too soon. Apparently Jack will roll it home.
There you go, even under the weather, Jack still striking. Chronic able to dish this out. Jack, just that light touch is all you need there. And that aggressiveness paying off. Gen.G in the lead.
A lot has been made over the fact that, yes, Complexity has sort of had Gen.G's number, but in the best of sevens, Gen.G is 2-0, looking to make it 3 as Nolly continues his rapid scoring.
Yeah, he's staying on the board. This time, Jack with the assist. Look at Nolly just wrapping around this. Demo on the play, net wide open. Complexity not able to get back in time. They've got to lock in here, 2:45, and down by 2 as early presence here in the front half for Gen.G.
13 goals now for Nolly here in the Spring Open. He's closing in on a season high as Chronic is blocked by CRR. More defense needed out of Complexity as we get into the second half of game 1. They already trail by 2, and they've given up plenty of opportunities. 6 shots to just 3 on the side of Complexity as Nolly pops another up towards apparently Jack. I don't know how often Jack has been on his half of the field. He almost has set up a tent on the Complexity half, and he's going forward again ahead of the ball. He's got Chronic coming in. He'll take the shot himself at AJG with the save.
I think I was talking to Johnny, and he said, yeah, Jack is always the one out in front of him. Oh my God, AJG, I thought that was going in. That's gonna be denied. Wait a second. We can talk about Jack a little later. You gotta score that if you're Complexity. I'm sorry, that was free. It doesn't get much freer than that.
One thing that could change here over the course of this series, we'll keep an eye on it as each game wraps up. That one's just a little bit high. Another one high as well. They're hitting everything except the net. Complexity is one of 2 North American teams that has a positive goal differential against Gen.G. The other is M80 as AJG will finally get one home. They hit everything except the net long enough and finally get on the board.
That's a good redirect from AJG. Did hit the crossbar though. They're still shooting pretty high, but that one will go off the bar and in. Minute 23 now. Complexity finally seeing some life. They're able to get the space here against Gen.G. The counterattacks are proving strong, and they've even been able to kind of open up the pace into the net. If Gen.G are careful, Complexity can totally bring this game back. That's a good shot, but it is going to go wide there from Chronic. A minute 10 to go, 1-goal game.
Good reflexes, though, from CRR. He knew that shot was coming, and he recognized it very quickly. Now Chronic up to the skies. Got apparently Jack to his right. He'll have to come in underneath. Now Chronic leaves it for Jack. Can he dish that home? No. Now Noli stuffed by Raisbull. Who will he opt to go to? Apparently nobody, as it goes to the corner. He had options left and right, but neither stayed with him. Now AJG's shot sent away by Chronic. Now Complexity's come alive here in the final couple of minutes of game one. Took a little while to get out of the starting blocks. Is Nolly going to take his time? Picked his spot, and AJG met him there.
Delivery from AJG, 30 seconds to go, though. Complexity got to move the length of the field here. Good pass out from Raisbull. Oh, Noli, though, with the cut. Chronic can turn on this. Turn, but the shot's off target. Another freebie going by, this time on the side of Gen.G, and CRR can have a chance to equalize here. Complexity trying to push everything forward. The bull charges, but Noli's there for the block. Final 10 seconds. Ball away from Gen.G. Noli clears it in space, but CRR puts it back in. They're looking for one more play, but they won't be able to find it. Instead, Chronic will finally find the back of the net there, and Gen.G are going to close out that game.
The only thing we knew for certain was somebody was going to be kicking themselves at the end of this game because they let it slip. How many shots did not require a save? Yikes. Both teams struggling with the shooting accuracy, and now we go into game two with Gen.G having survived that opening game.
Yeah, first game of the day, Kopi. I'm definitely coming out here for both teams because, my goodness, that was not the best showing on either side. And Gen.G slip away with it. I mean, even with that goal from Jack, you see it on our Mobile 1 high performance replay. Complexity should not have two people going back towards the net that way. Someone should be able to make that instant challenge. Communication definitely needs to be on point. You talked about Jack, though, for a little bit here, talking about how aggressive he is out in front. Like I said, I was talking to Johnny, and he said that in the Winter Major, Jack was the person who spent the most time in the opponent's half out of everybody playing. I believe in like the top 8. If not the top 8, everyone in the tournament. Someone can go on Johnny's stream to clarify, but just knowing that Jack is that aggressive, it's no surprise that he's stuck up in the Complexity half.
So Gen.G goes +2 in game one, trying to get their goal differential with Complexity closer to 0. As apparently Jack sets up Chronic, but that goes wayward to the side. AJG and Raisbull are over there. Chronic trying to bring it all the way back to Nola. It's a decent intercept, but now look at the passing from Complexity. Chronic avoids contact. Raisbull will keep it available. AJG is there, but so too is Nolly. And so Complexity, while they continue their bout of aggression here that picked up in the second half of game one, still only the 1 goal back in that first game to show for it, as Complexity weathers the storm for now, though it is still very dangerous.
Yeah, definitely a little awkward there for Gen.G. Complexity trying to hit their stride. Good play there from Jack to apply some early pressure. CRR with some control, but Noli gets that quick beat. Also, great follow-up touch as well, but Jack is also going for that ball, so Chronic has to be careful here in the midfield. Sends it mid, Jack is there. Oh, the shot just hitting the mark. Again, another chance there. That shot was uncontested, but still, you can see the shooting troubles starting to affect everybody today.
AJG gave that a look and turned away, made sure to grab the midfield boost at least to deny Gen.G that as they tried to push into the Complexity half. And now AJG going to take this himself, try to drop it down. CRR came forward a little too much, and Raisbull has to try and fend off Chronic. CRR up the ladder with AJG in support, and Complexity deny Gen.G a good look at their net for now, though they had plenty in game one. This goes into the corner. Nolly got beat. AJG for CRR in the pass, not quite where it needed to be. Deflected away, and here comes Gen.G, at least buying themselves a little bit of breathing room.
Yeah, breathing room for the moment. Complexity have been all over the ball. Look at that, even Jack, light touch, everything getting contested. CRR with a clean beat. Complexity still trying to move upfield here. But it's been a low shooting game so far to start this one off. Only 2 from the side of Gen.G and only 1 on the side of Complexity. It's been a big battle here for possession as things continue on. That bump from Jack proves fruitless as RazeBull is able to get to the ball, clear it out for the time being. Chronic with the ground pinch forces AJG to make a save.
I kind of wonder if this is maybe kind of a conscious effort from Gen.G, especially apparently Jack being more of a disruptor than usual here. But maybe him not being at quite 100%. Jack is the shooter here, but never got to the shot. Now Nolly will have to bring it all the way back, and Gen.G continues to play the possession game. Chronic has Jack way downfield. He's got to scramble back, just in case Nolly didn't have that win at midfield. And RazeBull bringing this across. Jack is there trying to intercept, and that's well done by the Complexity defense for now, keeping Gen.G at bay again. Inside 2 minutes now. RazeBull has that kick right out to AJG. Shot coming in, and Jack couldn't react in time. AJG, almost like he just had that bounce off his car and in.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. Noli clears it. It is straight to AJG. Kind of the pinches there to the top right corner. It happens so fast that if you don't see it coming, you're not going to be able to react in time. Complexity take 1, and now they set the tone on Forbidden Temple.
Nolly just dances around RazeBull. Apparently Jack put it up there for Chronic. Try and drop it down, and RazeBull with the save, despite the interference in the net from Nolly. Jack going to work himself. Flip reset, try to get the pass down to Chronic. Could not. And Chronic intercepted by El Toro, and the lead is 2.
It was so obvious. Gen.G, the passing around looks great, but you got to be just a little bit more creative. RazeBull read that all day. Chronic had no momentum on the ball, was trying to get back to Noli. The Bull charges forward and puts Complexity in a strong position here. 2 goals up with 1.5 minutes to go.
Great shot from midfield by Jack, just trying to pressure Complexity a little bit. Another demolition taking out AJG. He'll spawn on the opposite side and have a good look at Nolly getting a flip reset shot. That is denied. AJG coming back to the rescue from the respawn. Now CRR up ahead for AJG, intercepted by Jack. Still a minute to go here. Plenty of time for Gen.G. They can score in bunches, but CRR denies Nolly. Now apparently Jack trying to dance around. Again, a lot of possession out of Gen.G. They have not converted it into much offense. Now Jack, 50 seconds. Got to get this off the backboard. He can't, and another great clear from RazeBull.
Complexity charging downfield, looking for another. Maybe a chance here for Gen.G, but you see AJG and CRR, they want to keep this ball on the orange side, just making it so much harder for Gen.G to move upfield. CRR is causing chaos on that side of the field. 30 seconds now in game 2. And it looks like Complexity just have everything established. It's so much more cleaner than game 1. The positioning has been great, and especially them being able to take advantage of opportunities and manage the field once they got the lead. It's been super solid.
And the final 10 seconds of game 2, they've got to score right about now to give themselves a chance, and Jack could not guide that in under the bar. And so AJG's second goal, his team leading 13th, gave Complexity the lead. They did not look back, and they've got a game in this series. We're all knotted up through 2 in this best of 7 upper final.
This is what you like to see between these two, though. Both teams trading blows here. Gen.G Mobile 1 Racing get a solid game 1 victory, but then you go into Forbidden Temple and Complexity start to change up the pace, showing a little bit of adaptations in the mix, as well as that team performance. Again, every goal assisted this game from Complexity. The defense was strong, and AJG and RazeBull, again, just kind of stepping up and playing their part here. They've been doing great on the scoring for Complexity over the course of this tournament, and they're showing no signs of slowing down.
We wondered just how Gen.G would fare against Complexity with their stifling defense. They've been one of the stingier teams defensively, not allowing a lot of scoring opportunities. And in this era where, look, you're not blocking a lot of shots anyways, it's more important to prevent teams from getting those scoring opportunities in the first place, rather than relying on your reflexes with how great the mechanics have become. These two teams have been 2 of the best in the whole tournament. It's no surprise that they're here in the upper final, but somebody has to drop down to lowers. As we go to game 3 now on DFH Stadium, Nolly getting the opening salvo as Gen.G try to pressure Complexity again. Really does feel like whoever had the initial surge has, I want to say, quite dominated the game so far in this series, but has certainly had a significant advantage.
Exactly, and then when you talk about just the shooting aspect of it as well, knowing that AJG and RazeBull, who are having the best shooting percentage ever, as Noli puts on a good shot that's denied by RazeBull. Again, last game for RazeBull, AJG shot 50%, RazeBull shot 100%. Like, these guys are taking their opportunities and they are, you know, finding the mark. Yeah, sure, that game one was sloppy, but the game two cleanup is solid. Both teams got with a win under their belt. Something's got to give here in game three. Is series still tied up.
AJG comes into this series having scored on almost 40% of his shots. Take that for what it's worth. The competition hasn't been the toughest, but it has certainly been worthwhile mentioning his offensive contribution. Has been outstanding for Complexity and continues here in this upper final as CRR, with only 5 goals up to this point, got to get him going for Complexity to have a shot at knocking off Gen.G here. Dangerous spot a moment ago for Complexity defensively. They weather the storm, and now here comes Jack and Gen.G. That was dangerous too. AJG cutting in front of Chronic.
So, more pressure here for Gen.G. Noli, not able to get the flip reset. Trying to get the bump to make up for it. Chronic will keep this in play before getting demoed by RazeBull. And AJG, strong touch pass one. Of course, you see Jack, that second man, not trying to necessarily leave this blue half himself. He's going to turn here. Look, he's sitting, waiting across, trying to find that extra shot to put on, and is now just looking for some bumps. If Noli can get this follow-up, it may help. Wait, he leaves it for Jack. Jack will find the back of the net, and Gen.G will start game 3 with the lead.
You wondered how long it would take for them to get burned here. They allowed Gen.G to get real close to the net, and nobody accounted for apparently Jack, who's got his second to lead Gen.G in scoring.
And now you can bet the pace of play is going to elevate here. Wait, did RazeBull got him? He did! Right off the kickoff. Noli wasn't in the right position. Oh, yeah, where did he turn? I can hear
he turned up, didn't he?
I can hear everyone saying he got caught out by the bull, and we are back tied up.
Yep, go check out Johnny Boy's YouTube. Sometime next week, you'll see him break down that kickoff, I'm sure. When are they going to learn, Dad? When are they going to learn? Oh, drop down in front, and that goes off of RazeBull and in.
Look at the chain dash here from Jack. Initial challenge, uses it to catch up to the ball, supersonic, and then pushes that one in front, scrambling to get back. Complexity was not expecting that angle.
Right at the halfway mark, Jack continues scoring. It's like everybody gets like a flu buff or illness buff of some kind. You go back to last season, Garrett G, sick as a dog, pulls off a reverse sweep over FaZe Clan. Arsenal at the wild card when he was sick, gets the series winner. And now apparently Jack, and we saw him charge away from the PC right after winning yesterday. You know he's not quite 100%. All he's doing is leading Gen.G in scoring right now, halfway through game 3. This is dangerous towards the net. AJG pops it away. Nolly now whiffs, and apparently Jack will try to bring it around the corner.
Tries to bring it around the corner. Still a chance, though. Complexity biding their time, looking for a way through. CRR might be able to lead that charge, but has to go way back downfield. RazeBull wants to keep this in play, and he is able to get some space, but there's not going to be a real follow-up here, except for Chronic giving that light touch to AJG off the pass from CRR. Tries to get that threatening, but still not enough. And Complexity still keeping this in play. They have the ball where they want it. They have the boost here as well, but it really does matter if they can pull Gen.G out the net, which doesn't seem like they can.
Nolly for Chronic. He gets swatted out of the air, so he can't follow it up himself. Complexity trying to level the score line here, but apparently Jackson will pop it up for Chronic, and that's well done by RazeBull to slow down the surge. Chronic is still there, forward. Kick out to Nolly. AJG read it well, and he jumped out. Very proactive defense to get Complexity out of the zone. Now CRR gives that away to Jack, and all RazeBull can do is dump it back in and try and give his teammates a chance to get all boosted up and bring it right back. That kicks out for CRR, and it bounces off of him the wrong way towards Razebull.
Great challenge there from Noli to also make that awkward for CRR. Jack's going to get there first, and CRR all the way back goes in net, wants to get as much power on that clear as possible, but Chronic read it and cut it out before Razebull can make that a play upfield. 30 seconds remaining, and how teams move upfield with the ball. What are the decisions they're making? Going to be a big factor. CRR puts a shot on, but Jack was there to read it. Complexity hunting for a chance here to score. They can't find one yet as the clock ticks down.
Oh, will this get inside the dotted line? No, just off. And one last chance. Big clear from Razebull downfield looking for CRR. Follow-up is going to go high and wide. And now AJG got to get around Jack. And Nolly and Chronic both waiting. Chronic deleted off the backboard. CRR for Razebull, no. CRR has AJG. Can CRR get to this? No. Razebull is not going to catch up to this. And Gen.G takes control of the series.
They had to wrestle for control of that as well. I mean, when you saw that last play there from Complexity, the demos on the play, see everybody just, again, trying to make those light adjustments, and it seemed like they had everything in place, but just before they were able to execute, someone from Gen.G able to get back in time, force a pinch downfield. You cannot let your foot off the gas against Complexity, and they showed why just there, but Gen.G able to have some really solid performances here, especially from Jack. 8 shots from him, 2 of them going in and being a big difference maker. As you see this one there, look at that great angle. And like you said, even though Jack not necessarily feeling the best, still showing up here.
He's living his best life right now. He has been the catalyst for Gen.G here in this series, where I think a lot of people would have had their eyes on Noli after his strong performance through the first couple of days, but it has been apparently Jack leading by example, as you'd expect. And now they've got a 2-1 series lead going into Utopia here for Game 4. Can Gen.G keep it rolling, get on to match point, and probably force a timeout out of Complexity? We'll find out on Utopia.
How can Complexity start to put things in the driver's seat? You know they have the ability to really take dominant wins against Gen.G Mobile One Racing. We saw that in the Winter Major. But it's not showing that here. And that could be just, of course, again, people on Gen.G elevating. Here's a chance here for a play, and CRR able to knock that away in time. Was in a 2v1 situation. Plus, you have to be very careful because Gen.G, they're waiting for their moments, and you see them, whether it's the individual performances or just those quick pass plays. If Complexity don't have their head on a swivel, Gen.G can move past them easily.
Razebull quickly down to AJG. What a pass as AJG dives in to give Complexity the lead.
I say Gen.G, but Complexity, but Gen.G have to watch out too. Look at that pass. Straight to AJG. It's perfect placement there for Razebull. What a play from Complexity to kick things off.
Make that now 12 assists to lead everybody on this Complexity squad for Razebull. And how important is that goal for Complexity very early on here? They have not lost a game when they've scored first this weekend. Neither has Gen.G. Gen.G 12-0, Complexity 9-0 in such cases. So history working in favor of Complexity. Can they extend this lead, though? That's going to be the key, because you don't feel like another shutout is coming. This goes angling downward, and Nolly will have it out right at CRR. And he's just more of a pest here, trying to slow down Gen.G. They have numbers going forward, though. Apparently Jack, one more touch, Nolly's there, and so is CRR. His defense has been outstanding.
CRR on top of the ball. Chronic had to be careful there, was last back. Now trying to stop the play here for developing. 1, 2, almost 3. CRR couldn't get there in time. And that was very dangerous on the side of Gen.G. Complexity are starting to ramp forward after that initial goal.
Chronic has to outlet towards apparently Jack, who's going to need a little bit of help getting across midfield. There's CRR. AJG's there. Nolly had to spring into action, and he can take a shot that's going to go well wide, and Razebull's not going to burn much going after it. He got a full tank of boost, gets tangled up with Jack on the side, and they finally break free from each other. And it's Chronic with Nolly right behind him. He'll be called into action as well. looking for an opening here. Got the flip, reset, bring it down to ground, and Chronic and Jack will have to communicate well, and they do. Chronic around Raise Bull, trying to get around CRR, no. Follow up from Jack, lining up a double, and he got the second touch, but not on. Follow up hits the crossbar. Oh, Gen.G missed a golden opportunity to tie up game 4. Now Raise Bull back the other way. Could not get a piece of Noli.
Still more pressure. They're gonna try to clear it out and move upfield. Jack, lots of speed on that ball, but you're absolutely right. Prime position there for Gen.G, and they weren't able to take it. Now they've got to put in more work. Still a 1-goal game, but complexity. You can see them, again, just keeping up with that speed. And yeah, they had 1 lapse. Maybe this one will help. No, Chronic, a chance there, but the shot was off. This redirect will be on. And here we go. We got a tied up ball game.
He misses the bunny on the right side, and then what does he do? He redirects this one right down the dotted line, and we're all tied up. You know, Gen.G, they never take the easy way out, do they?
Yeah, nah. They don't.
Get some style points at least as they tie up game 4. Now AJG forced to burn a lot of boost to keep this ball available, and that's a good win by Chronic. Nolly was diving in. And apparently Jack will have this from the wing. AJG on a deflection off of Jack, and Raise Bull make sure Nolly can't follow this play up. It's still a little bit awkward defensively out of complexity, but now they work downfield. CRR and Raise Bull, nobody gets a shot on target.
Good control. CRR in the air, though. You gotta watch out. Like you said, not necessarily having the best tournament for CRR, but if he does get going, it'll be a huge difference maker in this series for complexity. Waiting to see him get on the board here. Raise Bull, though. Oh, the light touch baited out Noli, and Jack will be able to get there in time. CRR shot will be blocked away. AJG a little awkward, trying to set up Raise Bull, who almost forced it through. So close, but just not enough.
Unless anything drastically changes here, this will be, as a shot from AJG denied by Nolly, this will be kind of an interesting tournament for complexity, as you know, they're getting a lot more production than they've needed to get in the past out of AJG and Raise Bull. CRR has often been a big part of their offense, but he's got less than 50% goal participation throughout the Spring Open. It's the only event this season where that's been the case, and usually he's well over 50. And apparently Jack, stopped by AJG, follow-up is wide from Chronic. You'll certainly want that one back. You'll want a few of these shots back as we head perilously close to overtime. Now only 5 seconds left. AJG got it past Jack, and now Chronic challenging Raise Bull, who's got to bring this to ground. He will not. Apparently Jack for the win, and he hit the post. Oh my gosh, it's a perfect illustration of this whole series right there.
Oh my God, you can even see him shaking his head. What was that? Clear lane, free ball. He knew exactly where to place it. And maybe it is just history with the first goal. We'll have to see whether or not Gen.G can change that with this overtime, if they can take it. But signs are not looking good if they're missing a couple of open looks like we've seen them do so far this game. Complexity haven't gotten things on the right side of the ball either, where they've also missed some close chances. It's been rough to watch at times.
Well, apparently Jack grabbing that corner boost, forcing AJG into retreat mode, but he stayed with the play. Now Raise Bull just ahead of the defense. CRR, oh, he beat the defense but could not beat the post. And now apparently Jack will spring Chronic downfield, lining up a double, and AJG disrupts.
That's a great touch too from AJG. They'd be able to, you're going with the ball towards that back wall, gets the kind of pinch on it to send it over to the side as well. That was super solid. Great save too as well. And now things moving the other way. No, own goals. Are you kidding me? Complexity tie up the series off of an own goal.
We call that plot armor. Complexity.
Bruh.
Levels the series. Again, they score first. Again, they win. Oh boy, oh boy. That one's gonna sting for Gen.G.
Yeah, especially considering the fact that they had like 3 different shot opportunities to where, I mean, these are free shots that they should have been able to score. Seeing them miss a lot of those chances, and they didn't really shoot that much either. You look at the totals there from them, 5 against Complexity's 8. Complexity had more of the pressure. Oh, Raise Bull let them know too as well. Complexity up in front now. Well, the series is tied after that, but it feels like they're up in front momentum-wise after forcing that error. We are guaranteed 6 games here in our upper bracket final. But what an interesting way to start off the day for sure.
One of these teams is going to go to the grand final, and the way things are going right now, they're going to breathe a big, big sigh of relief when they get there, and they're going to have a long time to sit and think about how they're going to recover and close out this tournament. But first, they've got to deal with each other here in Game 5 to break a 2-all tie as we head to the newest addition to our map rotation. I absolutely love this backdrop. Let's go. Game 5 between Complexity and Gen.G.
Great shot there of the map, by the way. Let's see who's able to elevate here already. Some quick offense there. Noli putting a tough shot in. Well done from Noli. He picks up after the mistake in Game 4.
2 goals in a row for Noli. That is great placement as well. That's exactly where CRR could not possibly catch up to it.
Leave him alone.
Gen.G scored first. That's what matters, right? 10 seconds into Game 5. Again, they're 12-0 when they have scored first. Complexity reaching the 10-0 mark under such circumstances as AJG tried to chase this down. Now it's Raise Bull. Rise and fire, and apparently Jack has set it away. CRR, quick shot, and that's blocked away as well. All the shots on target now for Complexity.
Look at that, they fire back so quickly. Jack with 1 save, Jack with 2 saves, not good enough. It goes off the post and straight to AJG's lap. And he's gonna push that one right under the crossbar. Shooting successful for Complexity. They get back into this game very quickly.
CRR, 1 little touch to bring that a little closer to the corner and away from Chronic. Well done to get control, but apparently Jack will take over. Noli is there, so is Raise Bull as he plays it across, and CRR trying to get going in the offensive end. That goes off of Noli. Chronic has got it right down to apparently Jack. That's well done by Gen.G. Again, that possession playstyle they went with early on in this series. They have not abandoned it, and it yields a goal here. Chronic getting on the board after a great sequence out of Gen.G.
Oh, that's a nice light touch from Noli. Chronic got around it, put the shot in perfect position. Now, they get the lead here again, but still both teams kind of trading blows back and forth. Is that going to go in off the kickoff? It will. Jack picks one up. Everybody getting on the scoreboard for Gen.G.
He just keeps going, doesn't he? Everything coming up for apparently Jack after a couple missed opportunities in Game 4. Make that 4 goals now for Jack as he keeps his hot streak going. CRR grabbing the midfield boost, but he's going to be out of position for the moment as this gets in behind him. Chronic stole some out of the corner. It's going to be very awkward for Complexity here unless AJG grabs that other boost in the corner, which he does. But it's CRR who's going to have to play this from right in front of the goal line. And AJG will start the counterattack. CRR under him to the right and disrupted by Chronic.
Only with some control here. Played out. Raise Bull went for it. CRR not able to get that as well. And Noli, light ball, forces a double commit. Jack was able to steal some corner boost. So AJG a little bit low here for a bit until he can move downfield. Noli though, good beat out. Again, Jack taking that corner boost once again from Complexity, trying to see if they can set up some consistent offensive control. AJG has been grabbing pads. Jack with the fake here to set up Chronic, but Chronic doesn't get the flick. And Noli will struggle to keep this one in play for the time being. Still plenty of time in game to go as things are starting to settle down here.
Really has felt like a 2-goal lead has been one of the more nerve-wracking leads to have, because you know the other side is just one strike away from making things real tense. Raise bull through Noli. Apparently Jack, great job grabbing the boost and stopping that ball on the side. Now Chronic for apparently Jack. Nobody else coming forward though, so that's a giveaway to Complexity. CRR led a little bit too far, so he's got to settle for boost on the other side of the field. He'll still be down there. He stole both back boosts out of Gen.G's half, and Noli there to intercept the centering pass.
Good control there. Uh-oh, played out. This might be good for CRR. Oh, but Jack able to get there in time. Great effort from Jack. He wasted no time going for that ball. He knew if he hesitated for a second longer, AJG would have been there for the demo. AJG in trouble now. It's Gen.G trying to make that push. Complexity set in net. Can Gen.G move past him?
Raise bull around Noli. Pass Chronic. CRR decoy.
What?
Oh, he actually got a piece, and it goes through.
This is wild. Raise bull with a light touch. CRR gets a little piece of it. Yeah, you're right. He did get it. Jack had no idea how to read that. Bounce and in. And Complexity, like you said earlier, make things real tense here.
Gen.G's got to try and hang on now, add on to their lead perhaps in the final 90 seconds as Chronic pops one out to the corner. AJG is there, and apparently Jack just ahead of him. Jack gonna call his own number, flip reset, denied by CRR, and he'll play that even further through the corner. Raiseball thought about diving in, thought better of it, and CRR this time has to let it go, and AJG's got to start from the starting point, way at the back. Raise bull, indirect, intercepted by Noli. He's still on this though. Now Noli
Big
has
miss.
AJG. That is very awkward.
Big miss on the play. Ball pinches out. Complexity don't have a lot of time to be waiting around here. Less than 50 seconds to go. They got to start moving upfield. CRR does just that. How can they control the pace? Trying to leave that for Raise bull, but Jack stays on top of the ball. Chronic clears it away, but that's giving up possession. And Complexity will take that all day long. Now Chronic and Jack just trying to cut in between. 30 seconds remaining. Ball on the blue half as Gen.G trying to keep this ball as far away from their net as possible while the clock ticks down.
Spot in the grand finals on the line here in our upper bracket final as Noli will pop it away. Now AJG, shot on is denied by Chronic. Follow up from Raise bull. Has CRR waiting. Set him up and got it through. CRR threads the needle, and the chaos in front leads to an equalizer.
There's that charge from Complexity. AJG getting bumps in the back. CRR has the lane and is not gonna miss the mark this time. 7 seconds to go. Chance to put the series on match point. We are tied up.
But can Gen.G break their hearts here? That's a great catch by Raise bull. He'll bring it to ground. Actually, it kicks back out, and Noli's got to bring it to ground instead. We go to overtime in Game 5.
Now, Gen.G, who had a 2-goal lead in this series, are trying to make sure they don't let, or 2-goal lead in this game, are trying to make sure they don't let it slip away. As Complexity starts to surge, CRR does as well. That's a great shot. Follow from Raise bull, blocked away from Chronic. So much more pressure. Demo on the play as well, and Jack will pick up another save. Complexity are starting to charge forward, and their shots are dangerous here on the Gen.G net.
Complexity shots have been on target, whereas Gen.G, while they've had those opportunities, they have a lot of misses that they're going to look back at and go, boy, we've really got to tighten those up if we're going to get to and win the grand final. Noli right to AJG, and apparently Jack has to try and catch this in the backfield. He does, and dances around CRR. He's got Chronic in support. Noli, last man back. Raise bull beat him. Chronic ranging back, and CRR just could not get around him. Gen.G narrowly escapes danger and then gets a shot right at Raise bull. And so now it's Gen.G's turn to put a little more pressure on Complexity.
Can they break through? Complexity when they're on defense, everyone said it's been so hard to get past. Jack wants to set things up off the ceiling. Noli's there, and it'll go in! Gen.G put the series on match point. Pitch out off the ceiling. You see the speed? They don't throw this one away.
Everybody shoots, everybody scores in this series. Nolly adding his third as he gives Gen.G an all-important 3-2 lead. And that puts Complexity back against the wall here in the upper bracket. Last realistic chance to use a timeout, and we haven't gotten word that they're going to yet. With Neo Tokyo on the horizon here, Daz, Gen.G gets, well, I guess technically 2 overtime winners in a row here out of Noli, and they're looking to go 3-0 now. In best of 7s, Complexity does in fact use its timeout.
Backs against the wall, Complexity just trying to figure out, killing the momentum, getting back locked in. If they drop to the lower bracket here, they play the winner of SSG and Optic. Both teams hungry for a shot at either of these two.
Both teams have been red hot in this tournament as well. The way these two teams are shooting right now, neither of these teams want to run into either of those teams. So, obviously, yes, both teams want to win this series. Thanks, Stacks. No, really, they want to avoid that lower bracket at all costs. The way Space Station and Optic are going, somebody has to go down there, though, and we may find out who after we have a little pit stop at Neo Tokyo. We look back again at the Mobile One high performance replay of a wild back and forth game 5, and Gen.G hangs on thanks to that opportune shot from Noli. He had the first goal, he had the last goal, and maybe Gen.G will have the last laugh as we get set for game 6.
You gotta give credit to Noli though. You go off to that game 4, and you're the reason why the team ends up dropping that one. Now you go into this, and then you make a statement just showing, hey, no timeout needed either from them. Just goes back, loads up, drops a couple goals there. Team keeps the possession, keeps the pressure up, and doesn't choke when Complexity starts to get on that 2-goal run. Now, looking at this situation here, Complexity, they're going to come out. The adjustments are definitely going to be made here. This is going to be the biggest test for Gen.G Mobile One Racing right here, because Complexity are going to bring up everything they have. As, they have another life here in the tournament, but a spot in the grand finals awaits whoever wins this series. Kickoff at game 6.
Had been a relatively slow start for CRR the first half of this series, but he's got up to a couple of goals and a couple of assists, and if he gets going, as he has over these last couple games, it's going to be a very difficult task for Gen.G to close out Complexity. But again, they are 2-0 on them on the season in best of 7s, whereas Complexity had all that success in the BO5s. It's Nolly with Chronic to his left. It's going to be Chronic to take the shot and score!
That's faith there! Noli goes up. Chronic's already in the air, by the way. Gets it straight to him. And even though AJG knew what was happening, just did not have the time to react. Gen.G strike first after the timeout.
He who scores first usually wins. That's been the theme here between these two teams. And that's what Complexity has to overcome if they want to send us to Champions Field. Raise Bull sends one high. AJG trying to stay with it. Get in the way. CRR finally dives in, but too late. Nolly with the save. Apparently Jack gets that away from Raise Bull. And AJG is going to bring it back in. He does with the second touch, but it goes right to Chronic. So AJG will have to settle for a consolation prize. Boost out of the corner. Now Raise Bull. First minute gone by. Raise Bull flip reset to try and slow it down, and Nolly was giving him no time or space whatsoever. And the Gen.G defense with a little extra pep in their step now with the early lead in game 6 and a closeout opportunity. Chronic has to pop it up high to give his teammates time to get back, and they have done just that.
They are low on boost. The Complexity is still knocking. Great save. Follow up. No, he missed. And CRR will push it into the lower right corner. Complexity sent the house, then did a spin around the block to get that goal. So much extra effort on the play.
What a great teammate this CRR is. He gives his other teammates a chance to kind of carry the series in the first half, and then he decides, you know what? Y'all ain't getting it done. If you want something done right, do it yourself, but they're going to get caught off the kickoff. No, it's off the post. It hit both posts and could not go through, and we remain tied.
Things starting to settle here, especially off of that quick kickoff. You see Gen.G wanting to kind of keep up the pace. Jack looking for a demo out in front. Can Chronic get this redirect on target? No, he missed. Jack misses as well. Noli, chance here, shoots, but AJG there to slow things down and buy his team some time. It's a great save. Can AJG do it again? No way, Jack's touch is gonna be sent off to the side, giving Complexity a chance to set up defense.
That was a great opportunity, too, for Gen.G. Complexity had no boost between them at all, but RazeBull got that boost out of the corner that just respawned for Chronic. And now they can finally try to break out of the zone. They do. It's CRR ahead at apparently Jack. Good cut there by Noli. Chronic hard off the backboard. Apparently Jack will not get one on target. And back the other way. CRR around Noli.
And looking for that extra high pass is Gen.G, and instead the touch goes straight to Complexity. Now they got to play a little bit of defense here. Gen.G, again, getting those offensive chances. They've outshot Complexity 4-2 this game so far, but Complexity has been able to make the most out of their chances. Chronic with a chance. Chronic, it goes in! Off the bar and in is Chronic. Gen.G with the lead.
How heartbreaking is this? How close was it CRR? How close did he come? It was that close to cycling around to pop it back out. But Gen.G, again, after scoring first in this game, they have reclaimed the lead. Oh, RazeBull. That one threw him for a loop, and this could be dangerous. Nolly going head hunting. RazeBull has to avoid him. Got to the backboard, but CRR will take charge, leaving RazeBull at the back to finally spring them across midfield.
A little bit of a double commit there. Both teams kind of fighting for possession here. Lots of light touches in the midfield. Gen.G have the lead here, but we've seen Complexity surge late, even in literally the last game, forcing overtime, going on a 2-goal run. Gen.G can't let themselves off the gas, and they do, and that just rolls in. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Caught a deflection off of Chronic, and Jack just couldn't get there in time. Okay.
It's game 6.
It really is Neo Tokyo, isn't it? Well. AJG, indirect on target. Chronic now. After CRR, it's apparently Jack. Light touch. Sent away hard to the corner. It's all the chaos that we saw from Oceania last night. Maybe it's just everybody got an OCE kind of day going here.
Oh, Lord. That was
reverse sweep in the grand finals. But here's AJG for CRR for the lead. Oh, a challenge fastball, and Noli couldn't catch up to it.
They slept on Christian, and he shows up when it's time. Look at that shot. Noli just a little too late on the aerial. Top right corner swap from CRR, and Complexity with the lead. 57 seconds to go, and a chance for game 7.
Oh, Jack, right as he jumped, got knocked into next week. Now Chronic. Pinch from the ceiling, and RazeBull had it read the whole way. 40 seconds. As this pinches across, they had AJG up to it very quickly. Chronic got that boost away from apparently Jack. Got to use it now to make the save, and he does, to give Gen.G a chance to counter. Chronic way ahead to Noli, and he almost dropped it down and in. Again, well defended by Complexity. Into the final 20 seconds now of game 6. Gen.G about to lose out on their opportunity to close this out before we finally get to go to Champions Field. CRR with a good catch. Down to 8 seconds. AJG whiffed on it, and that could put him out of position. Noli to the corner to send it to OT, denied by CRR, and we go to Champions Field.
Oh, by the skin of their teeth, Complexity stop in the streak of Gen.G scoring first and winning the game stats. 12-1 now. as we are going to Champions Field to start off the day. Now, I'm just glad we're there. How we got there, not really that impressed by everybody. That being said, towards the end of that game, we saw lots of great Rocket League. CRR stepping up, shooting 100%. He's had a very poor shooting percentage this tournament. But again, when his teams needed him most, he's been able to find the mark. On the side of Gen.G Mobile 1, Chronic shooting 2 for 4, 3 saves. Quieter game from Noli, who's normally stepped up from this Gen.G team. And seeing things kind of start to urb and switch here. As again, remember, Complexity did call that timeout, and whatever they had talked about, they've been able to kind of make some adjustments here and throw Gen.G off. Gen.G also kind of threw themselves off as we take a look back at the Mobile 1 high performance replay. Lots of great scoring, but it all comes down to this. One more game as who goes on to the grand final.
It all comes down to Champions Field with Gen.G not using their timeout, interestingly enough. They still had it in their pocket to use. They opted not to. So we go to our deciding game. Been a bit of a bacon series. You certainly love it. It's been entertaining. You don't never want to see how it's made, though. As we go to Champions Field, we're underway to kick off the day.
This is to see who really has the ice here, though. Chance at the grand finals. Whoever loses isn't out. Oh, but that's a good clearance there from Noli. Send that all the way downfield back to Jack. Space here. Who's going to get there first? CRR does. Complexity with a chance to get a drive upfield. Lots of tension here. We've seen mistakes, but a mistake that could potentially cost you the series is not one you want to make here on this stage.
Opt out in front. Jack just got away from AJG, and AJG couldn't quite turn around quickly enough on this one. Race to the corner boost, won by AJG. So he gets that ball to the corner, and gets the boost, and gets it downfield. Now Ray's Bull, flip, reset, popped over, and Chronic is there on the crossbar. Now CRR challenging Noli. And Ray's Bull will not opt for the midfield boost. He had to go after the ball instead. CRR with a big demo on Chronic.
Yeah, and for Ray's Bull to do that while Jack is just chasing him down. Well done from Ray's Bull. It's been pretty hectic in the midfield. AJG will put a shot on. CR had the read on Jack's clear. Pick the pockets. Complexity with the start in Game 7.
He had a couple of assists for his first 2 tallies. Since then, 5 goals for CRR, and none bigger, perhaps, than that one right there to give Complexity the lead in Game 7.
Let's see. Clock against Gen.G now. Complexity have willed themselves back in. In some cases, they've had a little help. But can they close it out here after getting everything they need right now in front? But there's so much time left. A second goal would do wonders for them. They send 2, but Gen.G's able to block it away.
This is the last guy they wanted to see on the ball. CRR set it up and got the bump. But nothing further. That's picked off by Ray's Bull, and oh, he's going to want that one back. It was a wide open net. He'll take out his frustrations on Noli. Now CRR and AJG creeping forward. And this will be deflected away by Noli. Indirect pass intended for Ray's Bull, sent away by Chronic, but it's Complexity, not allowing Gen.G to get cleanly onto the other half of the field. This is awkward. AJG could not dance around Noli. Well done defensively to keep Gen.G effectively in this game.
Gen.G have not had a shot yet. This has been all Complexity as they have controlled the first half of Game 7.
Oh, Noli started to creep up, and Chronic must have called him off at the very last moment. Now Chronic going after CRR, and apparently Jack will dunk it through.
Look at the setup here. They had space. They saw CRR last back. Chronic charged forward. Jack takes it low and wins the 50 just under the crossbar. We are all tied up here. Gen.G get a set play and make it work.
Well, CRR is going to scramble back for this, and he could not go for the corner boost. This is given away, and Ray's Bull is right there. AJG running forward, and he can't factor into the play. Looking maybe to clear the way. AJG blocked way out in front. These shots are coming from further and further out, and they're still just as deadly.
I have to keep eyes on just to see, because Complexity is a team. They have good communication. They move around the field. A lot of people talk about Gen.G's passing. Complexity is just as dangerous in that aspect. That was a good touch from Jack, but Chronic just way too late on that. And is trying to slow down Raiseball as he moves forward. The ball puts it top left, but Jack is there to block it away.
CRR will cycle around. He's had a hand in 7 out of the 13 goals here for Complexity. Now he's going to play some defense. Coming from the ceiling of the goal, and the shot sails high again out of Gen.G. Nolly can't follow this up, so Raiseball will play downfield. AJG took out Chronic, and he'll roll it home as Chronic could only watch helplessly on the respawn.
He got the demo on the back end, and Raiseball with the clear away. No one home from Gen.G. The off-ball play is a big-time play for Complexity. 1 minute and 16 to go before Complexity can go to the grand finals.
Raiseball after AJG clears the way again. AJG's physicality has been menacing, and Gen.G has not had an answer. CRR to the heavens, and blocked away by Nolly.
Final minute, good clearance here. Gen.G have shown signs. They need the second challenge. They need Chronic. Oh, that was a great shot, but AJG headed red. Forced out 2 in the net, and Gen.G have more work to do. 40 seconds to go. They cannot afford to be late to the ball here because Complexity are totally comfortable with playing the 50 game out. It's going to be up to Gen.G to be able to force a mistake.
Good thing he had the read because he wasn't going to be able to react in time. That was a laser. Now CRR down to 23 seconds. Trying to kill it off here. Nolly out to Chronic, who just grabbed that quarter boost on his way out. Chance now for Gen.G. 2-on-2 into the zone, and apparently Jack denied out in front. Follow up is on target, but set away by CRR. Now Chronic after AJG's deleted.
Chance for
apparently Jack double tap, and it's blocked.
Oh!
Blocked out to the corner. No time on the clock. Nolly's got to bring it central. Deflected by Raiseball. It is scramble time now for Gen.G, but it's Complexity. Está en la gran final.
Hey, look at the relief there, Complexity. They had to battle back all the way from Neo Tokyo up to now. And you saw Gen.G with that final push. And you see Nolly hands on his head. That one is rough if you're Gen.G Mobile 1, but well earned from Complexity here. Remember, no team out, but Complexity would have spotted in the grand finals after taking down Gen.G finally in a best-of-7. It's got to be a good feeling.
After all that, the first 2 games decided by 2 goals each. Everything else decided by just 1 goal. If this is a preview of the grand finals, sign me up. What a performance out of Complexity as they scratch and claw and battle every step of the way with Gen.G, and they finally take down these giants in a best-of-7.
And if this is any indication of Rocket League, like you said, of Rocket League for the rest of the day, and you guys are watching here at home, you better buckle up, because I'm telling you, it might get a little bit more dramatic as the day goes on. Space Station versus Optic Gaming next, an elimination match. Winner gets Gen.G. We are just getting started here in the RLCS.